Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's shed. Well, the weather report. She was hot yesterday. It's Tuesday morning here now. And it's very humid. Over the weekend we got a little bit of rain, not a lot, but if you remember the last stew, it was showering through the stew a little bit. Well, we only ended up getting 2.5 millimetres out of that. Yet on Saturday evening we got a storm through and got 11 millimetres. Or Saturday afternoon I think it was. So yeah, that's sort of, there's still no runoff, it just all soaked in. But yesterday it was supposed to be 37 degrees Celsius. Well, I was just having a look at the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Company website, and in the centre of Bundaberg it reached 38.5. So I haven't crossed that over to see how it goes, but look, it was getting up there. And yesterday, yeah, I was working on the ute yesterday, and man, she was hot. Yeah, it was really warm. Over the weekend, you'll remember that we had a corn sheller that the white ants ate, or the termites ate. We call them white ants here. I suppose they're the same as a termite. Perhaps they are, perhaps they're not, I don't know. And there was been a bit of a problem up the back, and my mate Paulie, he was looking for a spare set of 12 428s to put on his little tractor, and I had a set that come off the 135 multi-power tractor, and I've sold him those. But the original 11.2 28s that are all Percy tyres, they were sitting in the tyre rack there, and we pulled them out, and the white ants had come along, they'd gone up the rubber tyre, and they were building around between the rim and the tyre. And I thought, oh, bugger that. So my dad used to be a pest control fellow before he passed last year, and that was his last business sort of thing. He used to do it for people and all that, but in some of his junk there was a bit of pest control spray, so I thought, right, I'll get up these bastards. And so Saturday I sprayed that shed, and yeah, I give it a good dose, and I went all round. There's bits of pine up. I had some 3x2 pines, or 75 by 35 pine, and they were about 1.5 metres off the ground on a steel frame, and they actually built a little track up the steel to get to that pine, and they've eaten the guts out of that. So Saturday afternoon, yeah, I went right round the Bundy Bear shed up the back, and I give it a really good soaking dose, and I couldn't go in there Sunday, Monday. The smell of the spray from the shed being shut up would give you a headache. So I'd go up every morning, unlock the shed, and let the wind blow through and all that. So it's got to stay locked this week now. I'm at work, so hopefully next week the smell's not so bad. But look, we'll just see. We're flat out in wetting mode at the moment, getting stuff tidied up and ready. So yesterday the carport where I'm cleaning the ute out, or when I'm working on the ute, I cleaned it all out, pressure cleaned it all and got it tidied. And I got up around Bundy Bear's shed, I got some of that mowed, and with the humidity we've been having, the grass I slashed last weekend, it's grown over 4 inches. So it's a green drought. Like, we've got no water in the dams. Kelly dog can walk right across the dams, and she's got to sit down in the dam to actually get proper wet. So yeah, so it looks like the wedding's I've got 2 spare weekends in the wedding. So but then yeah, the week before my sister's coming up, the weekend before she's coming up, so we'll have a bit of family time there, I suppose. And nephew Ray, he's dropping his caravan off the week before and going to see his kids and coming back through the week. So yeah, it's going to be a lot going on at home. So I don't know how the stews are going to go. I'll just tell you what I'm up to. You might be interested, you may be not. And look, it's just how it is at the moment in my life, and it's just the stews are just a bit of a vlog on what Bundy Bear's doing, whether I'm working in the shed or whether I've got something coming up. But I expect before the wedding now that everything will come to a standstill with tractor works, and I've been going like a blue ass fly on this ute. I actually meant to take a photo of it, but I forgot. This morning when I left home early, I was off and racing. But on the weekend I got the back canopy, I got that all wrapped, so I've got the white doors on that now. And look, that's looking okay. I've got the canopy sat on, and I've got a few little things to tidy up with that yet. Through the week I got all the plumbing sorted out, as in the water tank is all plumbed in now with the tap each side. I got the ARB air compressor plumbed in with the quick couplers, and I made a little adapter to go to the standard Nitto ends that I have on everything else, so I can use the standard products. I've got the spare wheel halfway fitted on the back. I had to bring the Triton to work this week. I've got the tray sitting there bolted through, and because it's an alloy back on the canopy and I have to put it on the back, I've bought a tray to sit it on, so it sits on the tray. And when we got the canopy built, about 80mm off the bottom, we got a whole new ute tray put inside the canopy, so it was weight bearing. So we're strengthening that back wall with angle iron, 40mm angle iron. Right on the bottom where the load goes in, we're strengthening it there. Then there's the beam at 80mm, and that's where a lot of the way the wheel goes, and it comes up a little bit further, so we're strengthening that. But the back wall isn't supported particularly well, so part of today's lap around town is to go and get some 40x40 box alloy, aluminium, and where the bolt goes through to hold the wheel against the back wall, we're going to put a big solid piece there and bolt through the 40mm box, and then I have to go to the bolt place and get some pan head, Allen head bolts to hold the whole back wall against the bits that are welded. So it's not made particularly strong, so I've got to make it strong to take any shock loading we have with it. We do have an option though on the side. Like normally we won't need it, but when we're doing the really rough stuff, I'm going to put a couple of eyelets out near the tyres, and so it's not bouncing against the back wall. Where the main corner is on the canopy, we're going to put some eyelets there so we can put a ratchet strap and just tie it all together tighter again. So most of the weekend was spent on the ute, and the reason I'm really pushing with it at the moment is when the wedding's there, we're taking the mattresses and all out of the back of the ute, and the ute's going to be in the canopy so we can keep stuff out of the weather. We've got to go and buy the grog and put it in there for safekeeping. I'll look forward to that. For safekeeping, and yeah, we need to go on for the wedding. It gives us an extra fridge and a few things like that. So I'm really pushing along with that. It is pretty well ready to go in that regard. ARB are still having trouble keeping up with their supply, which is a good thing if you're in business and you have that much supply that you're flat keeping up. We're at the stage where we're looking at the awnings. I used to have a 270 degree awning that come out the left hand side of the car, and it's about 8 years old, and we're going to upgrade that. So we're going to get rid of that one. And our old awning that was 2.4 wide and went out 3 metres, I actually have a spare one of them at home for our old beach truck, so it's going on as well. So yeah, look, it's all a good process. I'm enjoying it. I've got all the wiring finished and all that pretty well now. When I put the canopy on the back yesterday, on Saturday, I had these little plastic brackets for the solar panel. It's got a 160 watt solar panel on the back canopy, and it's got a 100 watt on the front. And I wired it all up yesterday morning, and I'm looking at it, and I've got the ute out in the sun, and I'm only putting in 2 amps. And I'm thinking, because the sun wasn't right above, but I was only putting in 2 amps, and I was sitting at 13.7 volts, but it was only 2 amps going in. And I thought, oh, it should be more than that. And so anyway, the big old solar panel on the back, I had to pull it off and put new brackets on, or I wanted to. And I pulled that off, and I couldn't get a voltage reading through the solar panel. So what had happened is they hadn't glued the control box on underneath properly, and it had sagged a bit and broken a wire up inside. So I ended up pulling the junction box out on the solar panel and re-welding. They got little copper strips that come in to bring the power in. So I actually had one of them had broken, so I had to re-weld, we re-soldered those. So I got that done, got it all sitting up back up the top there, and yeah, now as soon as I plugged it in after doing that, I was putting in about 12.5 amps. So that's fine. The fridge of course cycles in and out, but the fridge uses around 5, sometimes 6 amps. So yeah, just getting a bit of solar banging in, that's a good thing. Yeah, I've just been bloody flat on this ute. Alright. But look, it's getting close. We'll be able to use it at the wedding. It's not a wedding car. It's just it's just going to be the go for, and we can put stuff in it and keep it out of the weather. So yeah, just a good thing. I got to work this morning. I got a little surprise, and yeah, it's a cracker. One of my followers, Paul Buxton, he sent me a little gift, and yeah, look, I've been grinning ever since, Paul, thank you. He sent me a little cup for the collection, and it says, "Warning, may spontaneously start talking about tractors." Well, there you go, Paul, a truer word was never said. He sent a cup for Judy and myself, so yeah, look, we'll be using those for sure. Very fitting, I must say. Yeah, it's a good thing. And look, thanks very much, Paul. It was Paul's in Surrey, in England, and yeah, I got a kick out of that this morning. That was great, thank you. And he sent me a little letter. He's got an MF35 with a 23C in it, and he's been watching a few videos. So and yeah, hopefully they've helped him out a little bit. So look, that was a good thing. Yeah, I was glad to get that. Yeah, it was just a good thing. Yeah, so apart from working on the ute this weekend, there hasn't been an awful lot going on. And I mowed up around Bundy Bear's shed, and Brendan next door come and picked up the caravan. He took it home and had a fiddle and brought it back again. And so I mowed all around Bundy Bear's shed, and then and the old loader, we had a tilt tray come in yesterday, and Fred come and paid for the loader, finished paying for the loader. I let him pay it off over a couple of weeks. And the old yellow Ford 3550 loader's left the premises. So, and that's good, you know, if you've got stuff hanging around and you're not going to use it, yeah, why not move it on? Give us a bit more capital to chuck into the ute, I suppose. And with these awnings and all that, you know, you start at $1,300 for them. So, yeah, hopefully it's good. Well, I've got another spare wheel coming, but it hasn't turned up yet, so we'll see. But we're getting close to a good walk around the ute, and I'm just sort of trying to get things finished off a little bit so we can have a good walk around. But I can show you what I've done, but I just got to get it set up and try and get a place. It should be okay up the back next to Bundy Bear's shed, where I can be a bit removed from the traffic noise and things like that. So we'll see. But whether we get into the shed next weekend and muck around, depends how strong that spray is. I had to Google it. Like, the old man had this stuff, but I couldn't put it in the tip, and I couldn't do anything. And anyway, I had to Google it to find out how strong to make it. So, but oh yeah, she's good gear. Yeah, send you home lightheaded if you stayed in that shed for too long, I think. So anyway, we'll see. So look, there's not a lot to report this week. It's going to be hot again today. At 6 o'clock this morning, you walk outside to put the signs out the front, and yeah, you know how hot it is out there. You can feel it. I've been going well with the weight loss. I've been staying on track. I haven't had a beer, haven't had any sugar, no carbs, no nothing, and I haven't weighed myself today yet. But on Friday, I was down to 113. So I'm hoping to, over the weekend, I worked I was up early and working till 5 or 6 o'clock, and then I'd just sit and have a nice cold soda water or something like that. A couple of times it was a bit tempting to have a beer, but anyway, we're not doing that. And so yeah, the weight loss is going well. I'm down probably 11 kilos, something like that. And yeah, later today, I always weigh myself at about 9 in the morning. I've just set a thing up that I try and do at the same time every day. So I've had a couple of cuppers I have every morning, a couple of cups of tea for brekkie, and yeah, you come to work and you scratch around and do your jobs, and usually about 9 o'clock I head down for a cuppa, for a coffee or something like that. So then on the way back up the stairs I scoot over and weigh myself. So I try and do it mostly I try and do it at the same time every day. So look, that's going good. I had to lose some. It was just sneaking up on me. So at the moment I'm back to where I was about 2 years ago. So that's okay. I started losing it March 3 years ago. I lost 34 kilos, and for that next year I stayed at around 110, and which for me, that seems fine. I still got a bit of a gut, but I think I was born with that. Yeah, that's my story anyway. But I went and had a tidy up. Yeah, I thought instead of having a fresh haircut for the wedding, looking all newly cut, I'll actually. Oh, that's Ross coming to work. Yeah. I thought I'd whiz in have a quick tidy up early. Then if I need a bit of a tidy up in a couple of weeks, I can do that. But I thought, bugger it, I'll just go in and get it done early because there'll be that much going on, and I shouldn't be that bloody unruly. Surely I should be able to put a bit of bloody front axle bearing grease on there and keep it all down from blowing around for the photos. That's the main thing. Jude's paying for all the photos, and there's a photo package that her and Ellie have got coming, and Jude wants some family photos. She says, we never get family photos. She says, I'm always up the shed and all that. She says, when we get together we're always hip-yo-hooing around. She said, we never take time to stop and have nice family photos. So that's what's happening at the wedding. Jude's paying for it all, and we've got to get some nice family photos done. So I've got to make sure I'm a bit tidy. Normally it doesn't worry me that much. As long as it's out of my face and I'm not too out there, it's okay. So we'll see. I think this will do for a bit of a tidy up. We'll see. Depends what I'm told. If I'm told I need another one, well, I'll be off having another one soon. But thanks again. Pardon me. Thanks again for dropping by, everyone. Thanks again, Paul. I got a kick out of that. Thank you very much. Like Paul says, when you've got a hobby like ours, you're easy to buy for, and that's true. I was talking to a lady yesterday about some Bundy Bear shed shirts. I'm just getting 20 to start with, and I'm going to wear them and just see what we think of them and just get the general feel of them. And the stubby cooler's coming. We're just going to get the feel of them too before we get organised. I've changed suppliers for some of that stuff, so we'll see. We're just doing the bloke that done the caricatures for me. He's away for a few weeks, but there's another 2 caricatures on their way when he can fit them in. There's going to be one on the John Deere 420, and same thing. We just me tear arsing around with a rum and a spanner and all that sort of thing. And there's going to be a 135 one. So hopefully we can bring out merchandise with me on a 135, on the grey and gold, on the TE20, and on the John Deere. So we might cover a few bases, but anyway, it's just a thing for merchandise. Pick up a few bob for the channel to help support it, and we'll go with that. I've got a Patreon thing set up in the background. I'm that busy. I haven't got time to put out special Patreon stuff, and see if people support the channel, a cup of coffee a month or something like that. But look, that's just too hard at the moment. That's coming up because we're getting that many questions on the Bundy Bear Shed, bundybearsshed at Gmail email. It's taking me about 2 hours a day at the moment, just to sort through the help me with my tractor ones and things like that, and that's fine. I don't mind helping. It's a good thing. put a bit back, but and then the Lance ones at Queensland Tractor Spares, that's not a good one to send them to really, because sometimes they get lost in all the business junk. But the bundybearsshed@gmail.com, if you have an issue with your tractor, I may be able to help, I may not. Depends if I've got batteries in my crystal ball, because sometimes it's hard. You know from experience that this can cause that on a tractor, or you've had that out in the field at some stage, and you know that this can be the problem. But because Harry over in America has that problem, you can offer advice on what you've found in the past, but it may not be what's wrong with his. It depends how he explains it to you, and it's a bit hard, but we help where we can. So bundybearsshed@gmail.com, that's the one to go to. So look, that's it for this week. Sorry, not much content. It's just working on the ute, and there's just not on the ute. I don't feel it's worth filming. It's the end result's worth filming, but to see me standing there with a big heap of sticky shit stretching it over and all that, I wouldn't make it with you. Well, that's my opinion anyway. Well, look, thanks for dropping by, everyone. Thanks for your support. We'll catch you next week. We'll have something on the stew. What it is, I just wouldn't have a clue at this stage. I imagine there'll be a bit of ute and a bit of ass and ram, but I think I'm going to have my bum on the mower and the slasher a little bit with this hot, steamy weather. And next weekend we've got no one coming, but the weekend after, the nephews and all that are starting to, well, one of them's coming in, my sister's coming, so we'd like the place tidy for that. And then in a week's time the wedding's there, so I think I'm going to have my arse on the mower a little bit. The grey and gold tractor, Goldie, and the John Deere 420 high crop, they're getting set up in the front yard so the men can sit on them and have photos, and you know, the young bloke Tim and his groomsmen and all that, they can have a few photos around tractors and things. So I've got to slick all them up, make them look all sharp, and we've bought a few bales of lucerne to sit on the carry-all, and yeah, give them somewhere to sit. Then we've got to use that on the garden. So there you go. Hey, it's all happening at my place. Yeah. So anyway, thanks again for dropping by. I'll stop rambling, and we'll catch you next week. See yous.